I could pull a better podcast out of my head. Hey, kids, welcome to the Tempest universe.
Ho ho ho, happy holidays. The views expressed on this podcast are that of the host, and not Santa's. Please stay out of the Mojave Desert Mountains and save yourself a probing from the little gray elves. They come in peace, but will leave you in little pieces. For your listening enjoyment, put on your best holiday tinfoil hat, turn on all the Christmas lights, and stare at the elf on the shelf. Lastly, the UFO talk is explicit and full of holiday cheery goodness. May the mistletoe be with you. Let's get the show started, fuckers.
This is the Tempest universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Oh my God! Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the podcast. Geez Louise, I feel like I got so much crap in my throat right now. But hey, we made it. The middle of the week. We are halfway there, and we got some cool little articles to talk about. Some of them are fairly interesting. Like there's one in here about the James Webb. Hold on one second. What the hell? Hold on. Just don't go nowhere. Jeez, God, dog it almighty. The James Webb Telescope, which, it's going to blast off in about a week. But there's a cool article in here regarding its cameras and how it's going to work. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whether or not you are not as smart as a neurologist or as a rocket scientist, for fuck's sake. It's a cool little article. That's all I got to say. It's fascinating, but it really puts things into perspective. Uri Geller is on the alien trip, and something from the UK. Something you'll enjoy. Bugs is here, of course. I've tried to get rid of him for the last 30 freaking minutes. He just will go away. As soon as the podcast starts, he comes up. So enjoy that. And that. Got a little bit more. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started, and as it goes, got a cool little Christmassy song for you guys to get things started. So here you go.
Now don't you act so coy. Let us go and fill all the little children's hearts with joy. Hey, let's do it one more time. One more time. Let's have some fun and go make this a Merry Christmas for everyone. Merry Christmas for everyone. Merry Christmas for everyone.
Uri Geller claims aliens are preparing to make contact with Earth. Yeah, Uri Geller, he's the psychic. He's got an opinion about aliens, just in case you were wondering. And he says, they're studying us. They're keeping a low profile. They're watching us. They're trying to figure out our ins and outs by probing us and carving us. Well, he didn't say that part, just added that. He really believes that they're just out there trying to figure out humanity before they make the big move. Before they get in here, like it's Close Encounters or E.T. and hopefully not any of the other movies, like Independence Day. And so they're being careful because they give not just one, but two fucks about humanity. They don't want to start no shit. I'm kind of translating this for Uri, just in case you know. Oh, don't know, should I say. When they asked Uri about this, he says he believes extraterrestrials have been visiting the planet. So there you go. Uri Geller is all in. He's not even going to, he didn't even try to, put a poker face on. He just flipped his cards over, doesn't even care about the river. He's just showing all his cards. He says he believes that they are visiting our planet. Some of the monuments around the world, such as Stonehenge, were built with acoustical energy by extraterrestrials. And then that knowledge was passed down to the locals, the druids, I guess. I don't know. And then he goes on to say, hey, it is not just Stonehenge. I mean, fuck, they built the pyramids in Egypt, Easter Island, and they started some shit down in Chile as well. He says he has no doubts in his mind that all these things, all these magnificent feats of humanity were actually built with alien knowledge. It wasn't the hairless monkeys. They put that all that stuff together to bring you these things. And he says, listen, the belief in E.T., it's moving away from it being tinfoil hatish. It's going towards being something more tangible and concrete, thanks to all the conversations that are happening right now, which is all great. Now, so somebody said, hey, we like it. Uri Geller. I mean, we like what you're saying. But when do you think that this is going to happen? Because you kind of sounded like you're talking a lot of shit right now. Like aliens are all friendly and stuff, and they're coming soon. So Yuri said this. Yuri says that he doesn't think it's going to take thousands of years. He doesn't think it's going to take hundreds of years. He says it'll take about 60 to 75 years for the momentous occasion when aliens show up. God, for fuck's sake. Really, Yuri? Really? Fuck your predictions. I know, that's just how I felt on the inside. I mean, Yuri, you could have been a bit more, I don't know, helpful. You could have, like, told us something like maybe 30 years. Would I be alive in 30 years? I don't know. The outlook is not good. Maybe 20 years, Yuri. Can we pass you, some dead presidents? That way you can sharpen up your view of the future, Yuri. But there you go, man. The psychic says 60 to 75 years before ETs show their ugly asses at us because they're here to help us. I still, his belief is this. They haven't taken over humanity or enslaved it or torn down all the damn cities. So they've got to be good guys. I don't know. You could also say that they've been probing us and gassing us and taking us away, abducting us, and making hybrid babies in order to be a better fit for total domination of the planet. So, I mean, come on, Yuri. Really? You could be wrong. I'm sure you've been wrong before. So there you go. The article is in the description. If you want to read it yourself, see pictures of old Yuri Geller, and as he touches upon the alien body snatchers and what could happen to us in about 60 to 75 years. Listen, it's all a toss-up. But, I don't think that you would spend, hundreds of years, really, because it's way before the 40s that we were dealing with these UFOs. I don't think you'd spend that much time trying to figure out how the fuck to present yourself unless there's a catch. Unless there's some kind of a agenda that you can't figure out what the fuck to do. Or maybe you weren't designed for that. Maybe you're just here to observe and probe, put back, repeat. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're dealing with some artificial intelligence that can't just come out and say, see me, love me, now you're my slave. Check out the link in the description, and Yuri will guide you to your next probing.
I go to bed early and I hope when I wake in the morning I'm someone different.
fuck is this asshole?
Just over the weekend on Sunday, I was, going through YouTube and stuff, and they had a fantastic documentary about the James Webb telescope, specifically how it's going to look for these great discoveries, with its fantastic camera called the mid-infrared instrument. And it was pretty technical, but the amount of time that thing is going to take just to set up, literally, it's months. I mean, we may not see any images for this thing, probably a good 3, 4, 5 months into it. That's how crazy it is, and that's how delicate this particular telescope is going to be. Now, it is heralded, number one, as the largest space telescope, should I say, in history. This is it. And, so of course, if you look at all these documentaries, you read all these articles about the James Webb telescope, NASA is a little worried about the way things are going to literally unfold because it has this requirement. The requirement is that it has to be extremely cold. So it has to block out the sun quite a bit. The damn thing is, it's got to be so cold that it's measured in kelvins, okay? Now, the instrument itself has to be at least minus 233 degrees Celsius or minus 388 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 Kelvin. However you want to measure it. This thing, it really has to get extremely cold. Now, what is it? The detectors itself, the images, the instruments on the MRI, they actually have to get to less than 7 Kelvin, or minus 448 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 266 degrees Celsius. This thing is going to unfold a sun shield that's the size of a tennis ball court. Because it has to block out the sun. If it's not able to block out the heat from the sun, the shit's not going to work. And part of the issue is that the actual cameras, or these detectors, they detect infrared light. You can also consider that in a way as it being heat radiation. And so there's warm objects out there. There's wavelengths that it's seeing that's beyond the spectrum of what human beings can see. So in that respect, it's going to be fantastic. You can see a lot of shit. I think in the documentary I saw, the actual telescope, it could probably see a mouse on the moon if it was aimed towards the moon from the location it's going to be at. But here's the thing. If it doesn't reach that level of coolness, if it doesn't drop down to less than 7 kelvins, it is actually going to pick up its own heat, therefore rendering possibly this thing a total failure. Because the instruments themselves, they produce heat. And it is so sensitive that you could get a false positive from this. And this little MIRI thing will be reading its own heat and giving scientists a whole lot of bad data. This is the craziness that's going to happen. So next week, we're going to shoot this thing up into space. It'll take about 77 days after launch for the MIRI. And I say MIRI, but that's the acronym for the mid-infrared instrument. They call it the MIRI for short. It'll take 77 days after we launch it on December 22nd for the cryo-cooler to basically lower the temperature of all the detectors to less than 7 Kelvin. It's going to take 19 days. That is after the 77 days. That is nuts. So I'm saying it's going to take a long time. Now this The James Webb, of course, was built with a joint partnership between NASA and the European Space Agency. JPL in the United States is going to be leading the U.S. efforts for MURI. And listen, it's going to be fantastic. If they could get this thing to work, it'll be great. Now, some of the things that this MURI thing is supposed to reveal is the birthplace of stars. Like, I give no fucks about that. It's supposed to also be able to detect molecules that are common on Earth. Neither here nor there. But these molecules include water, carbon dioxide, and methane, and also rocky minerals, kind of silicates, that are probably in cool environments around nearby stars where you might find planets forming. And it's also supposed to let us see way further back in time than all of our current instruments out there. So listen, let's see. Let's see what it does. Can they pull it together? One of the things that people were talking about is maybe using the James Webb to kind of figure out, is there or is there not a Planet 9 or Planet X or Nibiru, whatever it is. I have a feeling that the discoveries are going to be fantastic, but the drama leading up to this is going to be even greater. So you can just imagine everybody at JPL is going to be on pins and needles for the next 4 months or something like that, as this thing unfurls its sun shield and then starts cooling down. Crazy. If you want to see the timeline, there is, like I said, there's quite a few actually out there. One of them actually is from NASA. You can go either to the NASA website or just go to YouTube and check out the James Webb timeline videos, which actually shows you what's going to happen, how it's going to open up the sun shield, how it actually cools down to that amount. And actually, they're saying that this particular telescope, it's only going to have anywhere between 5 to 10 years of fuel in order for it to do what it needs to do. And I guess depending on how much they use it, will determine whether or not we'll have it for 5 years or for 10. But the whole thing with NASA and now ESA is that, basically they underpromise and overdeliver. So I'm sure it'll be like 40 years up there doing this thing. I'm just saying, that's just the way it always works. There's more in the article, a lot more on YouTube. Like I say, I was like glued to that particular documentary on YouTube, and it was really informative. So hopefully we get a good launch, because you can imagine if this shit just blows up. It would be an epic ending, because we've been waiting for the damn James Webb to go up for decades. So let's see what happens. Check this out.
You think you know me? Say I'm as cold-hearted as they come. You think I'm slowly cutting my ties with you, that I'm done. Here's what you don't know. Feelings, they grow slow. I've just been caring for mine. Now I can feel it. Now I believe it. Baby, tonight is the night. I'm gonna call you up in the name of love. Gonna call you up and tell you that ties with you that I'm done. But I'm not done with you. But I'm not done with you. I'm gonna call you up in the name of love. Gonna call you up and tell you that I'm not giving up in the name of love. I'm not giving up yet on you. In the name of love, in the name of love. In the name of love, in the name of love.
Gemma Collins out of the UK. Apparently she's the star of The Only Way is Essex. And she had a story to tell on her podcast. So Gemma has a podcast. And she claimed that her mutter, at one time was riding on a train. And she met an alien. I know. Just hold on for it, please. She met an alien, and she managed to form a telepathic connection to this alien while riding on a train. I mean, if you got it, you got it, right? If you got it, and you're in the right place at the right time, why not use it? Why not, put your skills out there? Well, it's just one thing. She's not just any other mim. She's not. She also has witchy poo powers. She is, I guess, a self-proclaimed witch. Called, what's her name here? Joan or something like that? And so, only a witch, really. Let's be honest. Because, if it was some kind of a UFO, I said maybe Uri Geller might be able to make that kind of connection. But if it was some kind of UFO researcher, well, for fuck's sake, you're not going to sit there and make a telepathic connection. Like, how the fuck would you know that individual is really an alien, right? Especially when you hear how she described it. I mean, really. Now, Jenna says she believes in aliens, and her mom, meeting one, of course, she freaking believes in aliens, so how about that? But she says that her mom, because she's a witch, she has this sixth sense about her. She sees dead people, too. And there was this individual on the train. And apparently she described the individual as having dead eyes. And he was holding a paper. Like any other person on the train, I'm sure, right? So I remember back in New York, I'd get on a train going from the Bronx to Manhattan, and half the people have fucking newspapers. The Daily News, New York Times, they all had newspapers. I don't understand. El Vocero, that's the Spanish paper. So, I don't know, is that alien? At what time in the morning was it? Well, was it really early? Was it late at night after work where everybody's got freaking dead-ass eyes, after getting out of work? Come on. Well, anyway, her mom's name is Joan, and so she decided to speak to the alien telepathically. And so what she did, it says here that she telepathically got the alien to rustle its paper 3 times to confirm if it was in fact from another planet. How the fuck do you do that? If the guy or the alien has a newspaper in front of him, probably knew the Queen's English. Why didn't you just ask him? Would have been way easier. But she says she was able to mind meld him. It depends where you're from. She mind fucked him into rustling the paper 3 times. I don't know if they even had a real conversation. This is all this whole, crazy thing she had, making eye contact and brain contact with this dead-eye alien. Nuts. Bugs just getting fucking louder. Anyway, he says that she reckons that the guy was actually reading her mom's brain or thoughts or something like that. And the mom says that, Joan says that she never forgot the story. It stuck with her forever and ever. And this is it. I wonder if Joan even knows that, Gemma was going to release this on her podcast. It's kind of embarrassing. But I don't know. I mean, she might be out in the UK. She might be known as a witchy poo, and she does this for a living. Rides trains and reads people and aliens. I have no idea. She also said aliens are not, this is a quote, aliens are not to be scared of. And when I was younger, I always used to draw aliens. How crazy is that? Oh, you're another URI fucking Geller, I guess. Gemma. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Everybody fucking draws aliens. What are you kidding me? God dang it. This is just crazy. Anyway, so there you go. If you got dead eyes and you're on a train, somebody's going to try to mindfuck you in order to make you shake your paper. I don't, it's a lackluster story. I understand. But if you've had that telekinetic connection or that mind connection with an alien anywhere, on the train, on the bus, on the shitter, wherever you were, let me know about it. Send me the story. It's got to be better than what we got from Gemma and her mom, because something else must have happened there. There's got to be more juicy stuff to the story, but I guess you got to listen to her podcast to figure that shit out. I don't know. I don't think I could take it that far. But the link is in the description if you'd like to check it out. Check this out. In the meantime.
So hard to see from the moment we arrive. Cornelia, you are one who will survive.
you imagine, like, in 20 years, like, Uri Geller's walking around with one of these things from the Alien movie? Oh my god, they're trying to eat me. Oh, they see us coming. Fuck out of here. Anyway, rocket scientists and brain surgeons not necessarily smarter than the public. This is a great story, and it might not have anything to do with much of anything, to be honest, other than the fact that I feel that, there's a lot of doctors out there that are fucking overrated. If you're a doctor, great. You're probably a genius in what you do. And really, this is what this speaks to me. Back when I was a kid, you were a kid, and you probably have kids, and you've told your kid this, and I've told my kids this. It's like you could be whatever you want. This kind of sheds light on that. Yeah, you can, but that doesn't mean that because someone has a title of a doctor or a rocket scientist, that they're any smarter than you are. They're definitely smarter in what they're doing in their field, but for fuck's sake, they probably could not exchange jobs and be equally as talented. Probably a few people who can pull that off, right? I don't even know. So this study, which was published in a British medical journal, this last Monday, they basically compared, brain surgeons, rocket scientists, the general public. They just took a bunch of people, threw them all the fuck in there. And their conclusion was that surgeons and these rocket scientists are not necessarily smarter than the general public. They did this to settle the argument because they've got COVID issues. They're at home, got nothing else better to fucking do. So why not just screw around with this particular study? But it's a good study either way. So they wanted to settle the argument whether or not the phrase "it's not brain surgery" or "it's not rocket science," whether it's a well-deserved phrase. Like, does it really hold water when you actually take brain surgeons and rocket scientists, and you mix them up together, ask them a shitload of questions, and then compare that to how the general public handles things. So they really wanted to find out whether any of these professions were intellectually superior to others. And instead, what they found was that they were equally matched. So there wasn't one more than the other. Now, the respondents included folks that were administered these intelligence tests from both neurosurgeons, aerospace engineers from the United Kingdom, Europe, United States, and Canada. A total of 329 aerospace engineers, 72 neurosurgeons were included in the final analysis by the British Medical Journal. And this was published this last Monday, if you want to know. Now, the main purpose of the study, according to the journal, was that they wanted to settle that debate once and for all, whether rocket scientists or brain surgeons with evidence to support their self-assuredness in the company of the other party. So basically, is any one of them any better than the other? As far as the phrase go, that's very popular among people. What they found out is that aerospace engineers and neurosurgeons were equally matched across most of the domains, but they were different in only two areas. So aerospace engineers showed better mental manipulation of skills, and neurosurgeons were better at semantic problem solving. So some other stuff here. So that's between two. Compared to the general public, aerospace engineers did not show a significant difference in any domain. Gotta repeat that for you. Compared to the general public, that's you, me, blue collar folks, people working every day, in and out, not in, in regular old jobs. Aerospace engineers did not show significant differences in any domains. Neurosurgeons were able to solve problems faster than the general public, but showed a slower memory recall speed. I would imagine a neurosurgeon, when you got a freaking patient with the coconut cracked open right in front of you, you got to solve some shit quick. Real quick. But then they If it takes longer than 15 minutes, they forget what the fuck they did. That's what this is. This is what the report is saying. So what they're saying is basically, this is what they concluded, that they're suggesting people stop saying it's not rocket science. Stop saying that. And then in situations that do not require rapid problem solving, it might be more correct to use the phrase, it's not brain surgery. So there is a place for us. There is a place for us among neurosurgeons, rocket scientists, and all of these smart people. And there's a quote here. It is possible that both neurosurgeons and aerospace engineers are unnecessarily placed on pedestal, and that is, it's a walk in the park, or other phrases unrelated to careers might be more appropriate than saying it's not brain surgery or it's not rocket science. So there you go. Equal footing. So I'm sure that you can't take a brain surgeon and put him into some kind of a botanical garden and expect them to be able to identify all the plants and know what they're made of, how best to take care of them, and vice versa. You can't put a rocket scientist into a zoo and expect them to pull out the job and the skills of a vet. So we're all equal. We're all equal until we specialize in something. So if you are a UFO researcher, maybe, if you truly are a UFO researcher and have done research, have memorized shit, and have the history of ufology in your gray matter, yeah, you could probably dance circles around a brain surgeon and a rocket scientist. So there you go. It's a cute little article. There's more about this particular report, this research, this paper that was published in the link in the description. Check it out. It's pretty cool. If this is the end of the podcast, time to end it a little early. And actually, this was recorded on Tuesday instead of on Wednesday when it was published. But that's the way it goes, man. It is the holidays. Shit's happening. Gotta make room for family and friends. And not to say that you guys are not, in that category, but some of these people are here. Happy holidays to everyone. We'll be back next week. And hope you enjoy the podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your mama, tell your dad, tell Santa Claus. Put a little note next to his cookie and milk that he should be listening to the Tempest universe while he makes his rounds on Christmas Eve. Ciao.
I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. Yeah. So lost, where do I go? I was in the chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out broke. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. I can't believe that it was real. It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forget. Cause I hate how much I love it, oh I hate how I just love to catch a feel. Yeah. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. If I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget.
loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you!